Kings and Queens, Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You're loved, celebrated and appreciated. Alright, according to reports, Mali detains a CEO of mining company over suspected fraud. And this is in the news and it is circulating gradually. And Mali did a deep in-house cleaning recently and discovered that these companies do not pay their taxes. So they are existing in Mali, mining mining our resources, okay, resources that they are paying, let's say, chicken change for, and they are still not paying the taxes that they need to pay. So, after those investigations were done, you remember a lot of foreign bodies were kicked out of Mali, were kicked out of Burkina Faso, were kicked out of Niger. So after they were kicked out, those that were remaining, Goita decided to do some in-house cleaning and discover that this very company have not been paying taxes. They've just been eating off of the motherland. And this is exactly what we are saying, that in as much as the problem is our leaders, in as much as the problem is our corrupt leaders in various countries in the continent, these people are doing the most. These people are taking advantage of any little situation. These people feel that they are the owner of the world. Remember? Remember, they are trying their best right now to get some part of Africa for themselves, claiming that Africa was not in existence, that the whole of the continent was empty. So this is the claim that they are gradually bringing up right now. And if Kai is not taking that narrative, is not suppressed, there will be a time that it will be circulating in textbooks. Children will be reading these things and they'll grow with it, believing that there was a part of Africa that was empty. So Europe came to, occupy those parts of Africa. It's quite unfortunate. I want us to listen to this very short clip, then we get into the news, to hear what the news has to say.
Oh, they are mad now. Now, it's no surprise we got a new Africa forming, and ever since Mali kicked the French out, they did a deep house cleaning, and guess what they found? They found an infestation of companies leeching off of Mali's treasure troves of gold. Now, listen, Mali is one of the top countries in Africa with gold deposits, and I'm not surprised about that, because that's Mansa Musa's home. But guess who's trying to be the new Mansa Musa in Mali? Terence Houlihan. See, Terence Houlihan is an Australian gold miner and a CEO of Resolute Mining Company. And on his visit to Mali, he was asked basic questions like, who are you? What are you doing here? Does your company pay taxes to Mali? All of these fair questions in which he was unable to answer very well, which resulted in him being detained, him and his colleagues, until they can figure out this whole alleged missing taxes of an estimate of $150 million that his company owes to Mali. Well, I hope this deep house cleaning continues on the continent, because it makes no sense how you could be the wealthiest continent in terms of natural resources, yet have the lowest GDP per capita in almost all of its nations when compared to other continents. And this should open up the discussion to pull back on foreign countries leading the African mining sector and start establishing state-owned large-scale operation so that bigger investment can go back to the people. But that kind of means you need a fair and honest leader, right?
Alright, this is when she said, how can we be the wealthiest continent in the world and still be the poorest? That is a comment we are getting back to. But I want us to take something from the news here, what the news is saying about the whole story, okay? Now, this is from the Alliance News that Resolute Mining Limited shares were suspended from trading in Sydney on Thursday, with the chief executive officer still detained in Mali over tax disputes with the government. Okay, so Resolute Mining stock fell 20% to 18.35 pence on Thursday in London and has lost 46% over the last 5 days. Perth-based Resolute announced that the Australian Stock Exchange has commenced a temporary trading halt of its shares following various articles published relating to the status of negotiation with the government of Mali. This negotiation relates to tax disputes which escalated last Friday when, as the Africa-focused mining firm announced 2 days later, CEO Terence Houlihan and 2 of his colleagues were unexpectedly detained. The three executives were in the Malian capital Bamako for discussion with mining and taxation authority. So, the Malian government claims that Resolute, which owns the Sniama gold mine in southwest Mali, owes the state approximately $162 million. So, to settle the dispute over allegedly unpaid taxes, the CEO and two others were detained. And that is for a fact. So Hololan and his colleagues have been questioned over suspicions of false evidences and misappropriation of public goods. Goita took power in 2021 and he has ramped up pressure on foreign mining companies in an effort to gain more control over gold revenues. Now, where the question comes in is, why is it that these companies keep looking around the continent of Africa and still trying to take the better part when it comes to mining? And a lot of Africans will say that they have to do that because there are lots of information about mining that Africans have not gotten yet. And this is where I feel we are getting it wrong. There are a lot of Africans who are in the diaspora who are into things like this. Why not we call them back and push out these foreign companies out of the motherland? Your Majesties, after cleaning the house and kicking out a lot of them, see, there were so much in Mali. Remember, like she said, and it's for a fact, that is the home of Mansa Musa, the richest man in the whole world at the time. This is the home of gold. Mali is the home of gold, like that is for a fact. A lot of gold miners, mining companies, foreign mining companies were in Mali when Goita took over, and he gradually kicked them off. Now, these few that were present still were not still sincere. You understand the way this whole thing is? And then the mainstream media accused the Sahel of being the poorest, which of course is for a fact, but the Sahel is the poorest because Europe and America contributed in the Sahel being the poorest region in the world. They are sucking off the whole wealth of the Sahel into their various countries in Europe and America. Your Majesties, this is how it is. And this is what is taking me back to the statement she made during the end of her discussion. How can you be the wealthiest continent in the world and still be the poorest? This is our situation as the African people, Your Majesties. And there was a question I put to you earlier this week. In the live session, I'm like, what do you think we can do as the African people, as a black nation, to take back what belongs to us? How do you think we can get out of this predicament? They are outrightly taking out our land. They are outrightly taking out our birthright before our faces, claiming that some part of the continent was empty and they came and settled. So we do not have any right to kick them out. They are outrightly making decisions, making policies, tying us, tying our legs, tying our hands. What do you think the solution is to take us out of the predicament that we are in? Yes, unity is the way out. If we do not unite, there's no way that we can succeed. But how do we come about this unity? Because a lot have been sown in I don't know, in our community. A lot have been sown within us to make us hate the core of ourselves. A lot have been sown within us to make us despise who we are. And that is what is taking me to what Traore is doing in Burkina Faso. Trying to wipe the city, like clean the city off of foreign materials, and asking that his people embrace their own local made fabrics and develop it within Burkina Faso. That is a good start, that we kick out what is not for us and use what is ours. And this is also a call, like we should embrace what is African. If you are in the diaspora and you have never patronized anything African, this is the right time for you to begin. That's one step that you take. Don't think about the other person, whether the other person is making efforts or not. Think about yourself. What efforts are you making to patronize, no matter how little that thing is that you patronize that is African? As far as you're sure this is coming from Africa, or this pattern is African pattern, and you try to see that you patronize that, you propagate that in the little way that you can. That is also part of we uniting, because it sends out the word. You never know who is looking at you. that will also emulate from you that which you have done. And this is how we will gradually get back what is ours. If we gradually begin to patronize our product, if we gradually begin to patronize our way of life, then gradually we begin to wash up these Eurocentric ideologies that we have within us, and gradually the power of the melanated will come back. Enough of all this segregation. Oh, we are not from Africa. Oh, we are not connected to these people. Oh, we are. This is how we are falling, and we'll keep falling if we do not unite. If we do not unite as one race of people, Your Majesties. And this is for a fact. I felt like showing this to you today because if this can happen to Mali, it is happening in Burkina Faso, it is happening in Niger. And I'm happy the way Goita took it up and they exposed this man. No, they are still under custody as of today. I don't know if they are out already. But as of the time I'm making this video, they are still under custody. If the other Sahel nations can also take a step like this, and try to do an in-house cleaning of the companies that are still present within their midst to see what is really going on. Like, come on, $162 million is not a small money. Most of these African countries have been tied with what do you call it, loans. There's a name they call it, debts. Most of these African countries, their legs have been tied with debts. And this particular money that this company is owing can go a long way in clearing the debts that Mali is owing. There was a news that was circulating within the week that Mali has successfully, was it Mali? I think it's Mali. Mali successfully cleared out all their debts, which is not true. Yes, they paid off a huge amount of their debt, but it's not cleared yet. So this particular amount of money can go a long way in helping the Malian government clear up their debts and do not have anything anymore tying them to the West and their hypocrisy. I'm going to stop here for today, Your Majesties. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always, Your Majesties. Bye for now.